Hello everyone, this is Srinivas from Informatica GCS, and in my today's topic I am going to discuss about the recent changes with related to export and import of business glossaries in 10.0. The service here is Analyst 10.0. From 10.0 version there is a change in the import and export mechanism. There are a lot of features added which I would be discussing during my demo. The main features are: it includes attachments where you can attach an attachment to the business glossary assets, and also you can track the audit history in the export file. The advantage of tracking the audit history in the export file would be when you import this exported Excel in a new environment or a new analyst service, that particular analyst service would have the audit history or the history of that particular business term with all the changes which has been done to it. This feature was introduced in 10.0, and in 9.6.1 and a prior version, the audit history was lost when there was a migration of business glossary from one environment to another. Now, let's log in into the analyst service to work on the import and export features. So, what I'll do is I'll show you a business term. So as you know that from 10.0 there is a support for rich text. So you can see that there are rich text present in this particular business term. You can also see that I have added an Excel file as an attachment to this particular business term. So now I'll try to export this particular business glossary. While exporting, when I right click on the business glossary, it gives me an option with regard to export. One is exporting only the glossary templates, and the second is exporting both glossary assets and templates. I select the first option where I export both the glossary assets and template. The first option here would be it would ask me which glossary files which I would like to export. I just select the one GCS glossary, click on next. Here it gives me various options on which what is the different status for which I want to export the glossary file, or what should be the status of the assets or the status of the phases of the glossary assets which would be included as a part of the glossary export file. So this feature has been introduced in 10.0. So you can see I can add active and inactive status, and I can add the export. I can select the phases of the glossary asset which I want to make a part of the export file. I get an option to include the attachments or include the audit history. In the third option, you can see, you can categorize the glossary. So you can if there were any categories in the particular glossary, you can see it in this tab. Then you can further subdivide on which particular categories you want to load. All the terms without any categories would come under uncategorized assets. So I'll click on that. Now all the business terms and categories would load. Click on next. So it's giving me a summary where how many assets would be exported and what would be the type of the assets. I can click here more to find the details. I click on export. So you can see that the export file, a zip file is created. The zip file is created now because it's not only the export Excel, but along with the attachments and also the audit history would be exported. So I have actually saved and extracted a zip file which I'll show you during this demo. So this is the export file which has been exported. This is quite similar to the earlier export file which we had which we used to see in 961 HF3. There are not much of changes except that in the rich text you can see the rich text along with the hyperlinks. So now I can see a column called audit history. I can see a folder called audit history. This has the CSV files where all the audit history of various terms would be saved. I'll just edit it with Notepad. Okay, you can see the audit history for this particular term. The term name is BT_3. You can also see all the attachments which have been attached to that particular business term, or all the assets in the particular glossary. So it will be saved here. Now let's log in into the Analyst back and work on importing, where I'll show you the various import options. Right click, import assets and templates, or import only the templates. I click on import assets and template, click on browse. One more feature is as earlier, when we import back an glossary asset, we would provide the zip file. Providing the zip file would include the audit history and attachments which is present in the particular exported zip file. If you can also provide only the Excel file, but that would exclude the audit history and attachments. Click on next. You see that you get an option whether you want to include the attachments, include the audit history, and include the linked asset from other glossaries. Click on next. You can select whether you want to load them, whether you want to import the entire glossary or you want to import only some particular categories. I will click on next. It will give so click on next will give me a summary of how many objects would be imported, along with an option of what I should do. Should I do when I have a conflict with if the same assets which are present in the glossary are imported back. So I will replace it and I will import. You also have an option to run the task in the background. As we have an attachment which has been included as a part of the business glossary export, please make sure you configure an asset attachments directly under business glossary properties for this particular Analyst service. So all the assets which are present in the location would be considered for export and import. So you can see the assets are successfully imported. I can just refresh this page. So it's the same exported import file which have export file which has been imported back. Okay, by the end of this video, I hope you'd be you'd have an understanding on the recent changes on in the import and export mechanism for business glossary. You can refer the business glossary guide for more details. We would love to hear from you. For any feedback or any more videos you want us to work on, you can drop us a mail at supportvideos@informatica.com with your feedbacks and requirements. We would be always happy to help you. We are on Twitter with our handler InfaSupport. You can tweet us anytime. Thank you. Have a great day.